Guys, how much does the defensive scheme change with Sindarius out? Does any one man have to take over as the point man of that defense?
I think the way we kind of conduct our defense is kind of a team-oriented thing. So despite if one man's out, I think everybody can step up. If everybody does their job, does the things that coach teaches us in practice day in and day out, I feel like we'll still be one of the strongest defenses in the league or in the nation. If we just continue to compete, we continue to guard ball screens, be vocal. So, the fact that he's out, it kind of makes a difference. But at the same time, we have guys that are, in practice every day and do the things that he's able to do.
Guys, how have you adjusted this week without Sin? I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do. Has it been have you gotten used to it?
It's an adjustment for sure. But at the end of the day, just like we said before, we got to come out and compete. These games continue to go on. And, we have the strength of a team that, is able to pick his role up. And, different guys take on different challenges. Of course, guys got to step up, and I think that's what we've been doing.
You guys had a little bit of a break since the last game. What was the one thing that you guys have been working on the most over these past 8 days?
I think guys have been focusing on exams, just trying to make sure that we set a new record for our team GPA. We've been working on shooting, just doing some, light stuff. But I think now that exams are pretty much over, we're going to get right back into the swing of things of competing and preparing for our next game.
Duane, how would you characterize the mood in the locker room as y'all wait this situation out with Sindarius?
It's kind of hard to put a finger on it, but, the blessing is that he's still able to practice with us and he's still with us every day. So his positive spirit and the fact that he's still vocal, being a leader, still playing hard, not taking plays off in practice is definitely a presence that's still able to be felt. Guys are excited about the opportunity that we have in front of us, and that's to play the next game at the Madison Square Garden. So with that being said, guys are still in a high place. I mean, we're undefeated. We're still a good basketball team that's just trying to get better.
For both of you, you were talking about MSG. You were up there, had a chance to go see the Knicks play on our last trip. While you were watching, were you thinking any about your opportunity to play on a legendary court like that?
Definitely. That once we got in that building, we didn't want to leave. We was ready to play right then and there. But, just a blessing to be able to go back up there and play at MSG is a great opportunity. Not for one single person, but for the team and for this program.
Kind of felt the energy. Just being there, you kind of see that, all the lights are kind of illuminated onto the court, so you feel like all the attention's on the court, whereas the crowd is kind of darkened. So just having that experience to kind of know you can play in a facility that's just as beautiful as the Madison Square Garden is, the mecca of basketball. All the great games been played there, concerts, boxing matches. It's going to be a great experience for our team.
What have each of you seen out of Rakeem so far? I know he's gotten some minutes behind you at point guard, PJ. What have you guys seen from him on each end of the floor?
The energy. He's getting better and better day by day. It's definitely noticeable. In practice, he's continuing to learn and understand, what Frank is getting on him about, day by day. And just, he's getting better. And it's great to see. And I think it's noticeable to see that his confidence level is going up as well.
PJ Frank has talked a couple of times about how he's learned to better communicate with you. What did he have to learn? I mean, what had to change in your communication for y'all to get to the point where you are?
I think it was on both ends. He like you said before, he was trying to figure me out, and I was trying to figure him out. And just being able to start to understand one another, I think is very noticeable, and you can see the difference between my play style and also just how much I'm playing at the same time. But it's great. I love playing for Frank Martin, and he betters me every day. And that's why I came here.
Duane, you older guys have been through road games, and you know what it's like to play on the road. For the younger guys, having to play these first 2 games in New York kind of like segue into those road games that you guys have coming up. How can those playing in New York help the younger guys, getting accustomed to playing on the road?
I think it's a great thing for us because the impact that it's had so far in our season, playing Syracuse in New York, we felt like we was playing at Syracuse. When they got back into the game, the crowd erupted, and you could see the guys on our team, the kind of young guys, feel like, okay, this is what it feels like to play at a road game against a big school. So I think that kind of helped us prepare for it. Then this upcoming game is going to do the same thing to let everybody know what it feels like to play on the road when we play in the SEC.
Duane, does this undefeated start feel any different than last year when you guys were undefeated at the same time? Is there a different sense about this?
To be honest, I couldn't really answer that question because I don't really focus on what happened in the past. I'm just focused on this season and making sure that we do everything in our power not to, put ourselves in that position to not allow us to go dancing in March like we did last year. So as much as I want to answer that question, I really don't think about the past. I'm kind of just focused on the present, not too worried about the future, just working on getting better every day with my team.
PJ, going back to a few questions ago, just how comfortable do you feel to being allowed to play through some of your mistakes now on the court instead of maybe worrying about messing up and having to take a seat for a while?
Very comfortable. Being snatched for a mistake is always something that is in the back of your head. No matter, even if you're gonna stay in. Who wants to make mistakes? But just being able to put that trust in and coach and his trust in me is great. It's a great feeling.
And for both of you guys, do you pay attention to the rankings and to social media and that kind of thing like that? You're in the top 20 now, and that matches the highest ranking of last year.
No, I can say for myself that we haven't really been focusing too much on it. For the returning guys, we've been here last year, and we know how easy it is for it to slip away. And just because you're ranked right now doesn't guarantee you a spot in that tournament, which is where we're trying to go. And so we know that, so we know that we got to keep on pushing and keep on working and continue to get better.
For either one of you guys, Frank said a few days back that Brian Steele can be an influential voice in the locker room with the freshmen because he knows what it was like a few years ago. Can either one of y'all address that?
Yeah, I mean, when I came to this program, 3-4 years ago, the program wasn't where it was right now. Just all the fans that we have, all the support that we have, all the winning that's been going on, just everything, just from the new facilities that are being built and all that. So Brian Steele was a part of that, and he experienced when times weren't as good as they are now. So with that being said, he's able to kind of come in and give a different perspective to the guys to let them know that you can't take this for granted. You can't take the fact that we're ranked right now, or the fact that we're getting the opportunity to play in Madison Square Garden and those other opportunities for granted, because when he was here, they didn't have the opportunity. They weren't going through that. So to have a guy on that end of the spectrum to kind of remind us to stay level-headed, to keep guys humble, especially the new guys, is good for us.
Okay. And what's it like for you personally having somebody on the coaching staff that's somebody that you used to play with?
It's good. It's kind of weird sometimes, but, just having to play defense against him in the past, or having him pass you the ball in the past, but now he's kind of telling you, what's going on the court. But it's great because it's a basketball mind. It's a guy who's knowledgeable about the game, who's also used to be a player, so he understands from both aspects how you're feeling and why you made the decision that you made. So he's able to kind of talk to you in a different way than maybe some of the other coaches are. So it just adds a new dynamic to our team to allow him to kind of just get us to be better.
For both of you guys, you guys talked about how you guys don't pay attention too much to the rankings because of last year. With the younger guys, how do you keep them level-headed knowing that there's so much more left with the season?
Like we said, I don't think anybody's concerned about that. To be honest, we're not really the type of guys that are concerned about being on social media. Whenever we hear about rankings, it's really through you guys, or whenever we do stuff like this. Coach is not the type of coach to come in and be like, all right, this week we're ranked at this level. So, sometimes guys don't even know. And our biggest thing is preaching that before the season, where they had us ranked coming into the season. That doesn't make a difference, because at the end of the day, you know how good you are as a team, and whatever you do as a team to get better every day is how you'll rank yourself. So we're not really concerned about the outside rankings or anything like that because they don't always stick. So the young guys, I think they understand that. They understand that some guys before them have sacrificed themselves, and that's why the program is where it is now and it's continuing to grow. So.
For both of you guys as well, just talking about the mentality you guys have when you guys were playing against NCAA tournament teams from year before. You guys, of course, did well against Michigan and Syracuse. You guys got Seton Hall. Do you guys have a different mentality going into these type of games, wanting to prove something, or are you guys kind of keeping the same mindset for each game?
I feel like each game we go out there, we have something to prove. Each game we come out with the chip on our shoulder, not just from last year, but just because we know how good of a team we are. We come out, like we said before, we come out and play each game the same. We're a defensive-minded team, and, we make our offense out of our defense, and we come out in an aggressive mindset each game.
Anybody else? All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks.